Hi class, this is a introduction video for Math 150 summer 2015, and I just wanted to introduce myself and introduce you to the main features of the class to help you get started. I have here on my left the syllabus, and I'm going to use it to go through the different things that you're going to need for this class. So let's get right to it. The first thing you see here is it says calcsuccess.com. Actually, I changed it now. It's calcsuccess.org. And if you go there, I have hundreds of calculus videos starting from algebra review through limits. This is something that I use normally in my on-campus calculus classes, and I integrate it in there. Since this is an online class and it's very accelerated, this is going to be just an extra resource for you and an opportunity to give you some extra credit at the end. So I'll explain that when we get to it on the syllabus, but definitely you want to use this great tool. Think of this as being able to come into class. You can't ask questions directly, but I'll show you also in a little bit how you'll be able to ask questions. Okay, now if we go here, I have a little description of what calculus is and how to approach it. And here we have the beginning of the information. Now this is our textbook right here, and you do need to have access to MyMathLab. So if you buy this at the bookstore, it will come with an access code that you need to access MyMathLab. It really, in reality, does not have to be this exact textbook. If you already have a calculus textbook, it would be more than fine. But you do need the access. So you could, if you want, purchase the access code online, which I'll show you in a minute. Well, actually, why don't I show you that right now? So here's the instructions, and I'm sending these to you as well, but the main thing is the course ID. So if you click here, go to this website, and some of you might have used MyMathLab before, but you basically go here under student, and I'm going to guide you through the steps here. So you click on register now, you put in the course ID, which is Alvarez 54703. Continue. You see our class right here, and then if you already have a Pearson account, you can put in your username and password. Otherwise, just hit create, and I'm just going to make something up here. And sure, hi ho, and okay, so I'm going to create my account, and I'm not going to save that. Now here, this is very important. So if you purchase the shrink wrap textbook at the bookstore, you would use the access code right here. You would hit this button and put it in. You can also use a credit card or PayPal to buy it here. So if you only want the online version of the textbook and you don't want to have a physical textbook, or maybe you already have a calculus textbook, that would be fine. You just need to purchase access to MyMathLab right here. Or, and this is what I'm going to press right now, you can get temporary access without payment for 14 days. So you can do this if you're not sure if the class is right for you. It is going to be very fast paced, so maybe it's best to take the class over the regular semester. So you can get started here with temporary access and wait for paying for it later. So if we do that and we go to our course, So here it tells us that temporary access expires in 14 days. That's fine. So we go in, and this is what it looks like. So this is where you will spend most of your time. Here are the upcoming assignments. And let me show you this first. So if you click on chapter contents, now here, this is important. You're going to look at the textbook online. Because it has some interactive features, you're going to want to download the CDF player. This is something that almost guaranteed your computer does not have, and so you want to download it. It's a quick install, but you want to make sure that you do that. You don't need it to do the homework, but you do need it to access the textbook. So here, if you click on a section, view the interactive textbook, it pops up right here, different parts of the textbook, and you can read through here, and it has examples, it has notes, different interactive features here. Some have videos embedded in the textbook itself. So I'll let you go through that. Here's all the different chapters. So basically, we are, for the most part, going to cover from chapter 1 through chapter 6. We'll skip a few sections in chapter 6 that are covered in Calculus 2, but there's a lot of material to cover. So you need to make sure that you stay on top of the work. Here, if you click on, let me see here. If we click on a different section here, let's try the video presentations. And here you have a little video. And so this is a video from this section from the author of the textbook. These, I believe, are pretty good. I haven't watched all of them, but I believe they're pretty good. But you also have a lot of videos from my website as well. So you definitely have a lot of resources. The challenge is going to be using them in the short amount of time that you have. Now let me show you the homework. So here, when you click on the homework, you have this tab right here, and you can leave it on homework, and you can click on quizzes and tests, or you can just hit show all, and they'll all show up. And I'm actually going to do view all on one page. Here you have the homeworks. Here's the due dates. Now you'll notice all of the homework and the quizzes are due on the same day. So it's due on Monday every week. And this is not for you to do all of the homework in one day, but just to give you the flexibility that you might need to complete all of your work. So you want to work on the homework throughout the week. For the quizzes, this is very important. You have 2 attempts. Now, for this little green flag means that there's a prerequisite. Now, for the first attempt, I set it that you only need, for example, this one, about half of the mastery points on the study plan. But for the second attempt to improve your grade, you need to have close to 100% of the study plan. This is to make sure that you can do well on the quiz. So make sure that you leave enough time to take the quiz, review what you need to work on, and improve your grade with a second attempt if you can. Now, for the first chapter is pretty much a review of pre-calculus for the most part. So we're starting it up slowly, and we will progressively be going faster. So the second chapter quiz will be more difficult, and the third chapter is very long, so we split it up into 2 quizzes. Now here you'll notice there isn't a quiz this week. That's because this is when we are going to have our on-campus midterm exam. So this midterm will be on campus. It will still be on MyMathLab. And I think actually, well, I'm not sure why it doesn't show up. If we click here, it'll show it, I believe. Well, it'll show up later, but basically it will be on MyMathLab, but it will be proctored. So this will help you also prepare for the final exam, which is on campus, and give you an opportunity to see what the testing situation will be like. And then here again, we start up with the weekly quizzes again. And at the very end, after Chapter 6, we'll have our on-campus final exam. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quizzes, a midterm, and a final in 8 weeks. So that's a lot. Here, if you click on study plan, this will allow you to go through and all of the different sections and make sure that you master them. So this is optional. And under the gradebook, you can see your overall score up to this point. So after every week is kind of a good checkpoint to see how you're doing in the class. And the class builds on itself, so you want to make sure that you're keeping up with the class. Okay, so now there's that. You will need a calculator for a lot of the homework, and you will be able to have one on the homework and the exam quizzes and exams. But it has to be. It cannot be a symbolic manipulation calculator. So a TI-83, 84 is fine. It cannot be a TI-89 or a 92 or an Inspire, anything like that. I've found them very cheap on eBay and Craigslist, so highly recommended to do that. Now the website, so notice I already showed you the calculus videos, but here under the discussions, so honestly the discussion feature in MyMathLab is not very good at all. So our class is going to be using Piazza for discussions, and let me show you. So I'm going to click on this here. Now here, this is pretty great actually, because let's say I'm going to make a new post here. And you can, this is a fake post. It has a equation editor, so you can use these buttons to insert equations. You can also, another great thing to do is you can, for example, if you have handwritten work, you can take a picture of it and then just upload it so that we can see what work you have and try to help you. Another thing is if you're having a problem with MyMathLab question, let me go back to MyMathLab here. Let me see, hold on. Oh, let me go back right here. And let's say you're doing the homework. And for example, you're working on question 8, just as an example here. And if you're having trouble with this question, for example, you can take a screenshot. Now, I use this Mac program called Skitch, and works great. For the Mac, I'm not sure if they have one for PC. They might, but you can do a screen capture here, like that, and then I can go in here, back to Piazza, and let's say I have a question on this. I can, for example, put a little arrow here, and I don't understand this as an example, and then when you go in here, for example, so upload a new file. Let's say this one right here. Okay, and then you can also, if you want, attach some of your work. Attach your work. or type it in with the equation editor, and then you can post it. Let me see here. Chapter 1 homework, for example. Post it. And there it is. And so here you can answer questions. And actually, so I'll note it on the syllabus in a little bit, but there's an extra credit opportunity for answering questions properly on the discussion board. So that's a great feature here of Piazza, and I think it'll make it much easier to post discussions. Another thing very important is the attendance. So obviously there's no specific time that you have to be in class, but this class does require a very large time commitment, and it's already very challenging. It's a very challenging class already, and so add to that it's twice as fast as a regular semester. So you're going to be successful, you're going to be spending a lot of time on this class this summer for the next 8 weeks. So make sure that you take that into consideration before you embark on this venture. And of course, you can take the first couple weeks to see if you actually are ready to take it. Now, the homework, we've talked about it. The quizzes we have talked about. Actually, let me mention one other thing on the homework. If you've never used MyMathLab, so here, for example, MyMathLab has, if we look at this same question again, if you need help with a question, they have this help me solve this feature where it kind of guides you step by step through the problem. They have this view an example where it'll show you a similar example. There's a textbook button that will link to the textbook. Ask my instructor if you want me to be able to see immediately. But actually, that's not the best idea. The best idea is to put it in Piazza, like I just showed you. And if you prefer to hit this button, this will give me a link to go to this question, and we can post that on Piazza as well if you prefer that. And then you can print it. So these are the helpful features to help you with the homework. Now, another thing is if you get this question wrong, let's see, check it, it's wrong, check it again, it's wrong. So you have now the final check. So you get 3 tries. If you get it wrong, it'll give you the correct answer, and it'll tell you what you wrote as your answer. And then what you can do is, well, here it's actually letting me keep going. Let me show you. Let me get it completely wrong here. And once you finish the whole problem, this is a multi-part problem. They're not all this long. But once you finish, so this is incorrect. And what you can do is hit similar exercise. As long as you get this correct at the end, then it will mark it correct. So even if you get a question wrong once, you can still get it right, and it'll give you full credit for that. But one thing, you have to be careful. You have to make sure that you actually understand what's going on, because you can get into this loop where you're always dependent on the software to help you solve the problem. So make sure that you actually understand what's going on as you're solving these. Okay. Now, getting help. So for the class, since it's very difficult, you want to make sure you ask questions on the discussion board. You also have several resources. So there's a tutorial center in L205. You can go to their website for the hours. They also have the same tutorial center. They have online tutoring, and I'm not sure what their hours are over the summer, but they do have that. Let's see if we can find it real quick, actually. No. Services, maybe. One-on-one online tutoring. Okay, so here it is. Now, so I probably need to submit a question here. Now, the other thing that you can do also is get help in the Math Center. They're also open over the summer. Here are their hours starting June 22nd. They're open Monday through Thursday. The Math Center is actually where you will take the midterm. So if you go there, they can help you as well. Depending on what time you go, the tutor may or may not be able to help you with calculus. And here's the grading scale. Pretty standard grading scale. Now here there's a couple of extra credit opportunities. So one of them is this one where I said that if you go to Calc Success, so let me go back there here. So notice you can download the workbook here. The workbook has different, let me take a look here. So here's the workbook. It has these sections that are called video exercises. So there's mini lectures, examples, and video exercises. Almost all the sections have video exercises. Now notice the sections don't necessarily match exactly your textbook, but they'll be pretty similar, and the title pretty much matches. And if you do these video exercises, so let me just show you. For example, these right here. So these video exercises are matched up with the same section in the videos. So here, algebra review, for example, matches up with algebra review here. Now, if you complete all of the video exercises for the midterm and the final, so for the midterm, it would be basically chapters 1 through 3. If you bring them in, bring in your work that you completed all of these, and for the final, you will get a 5% increase in your overall grade. So that's almost a half-letter grade bump, and definitely worthwhile. And of course, you don't want to do all of them at the very end. You want to use these videos as you're going through the class. So highly recommended watching the little mini lectures and then the video exercises, working through them, because it'll help you go through the homework much faster. Another thing is, this is important too actually, as you're doing the homework, try not to get bogged down. You know, if you have some of these questions can be a little bit tricky, and you know, don't spend hours on a single problem. If you feel like you're understanding it but something's going wrong, post it on the discussion board and let your classmates and I help you with the homework problem. So it's very important that you don't get bogged down. If you're not understanding, then maybe you need to go back, watch the mini lecture again, go to the textbook, make sure that you're really understanding the material. But once you do the homework, if you're actually sure that you're doing it right, but for some reason it's marking it wrong, then post it on the discussion board and we'll all help you through it. Very important that you don't cheat, and that's pretty obvious. And make sure that you're learning the material. You know, this is very important stuff. For Calculus 2, you're going to need to be on solid ground with your Calculus 1 material. So make sure that you are actually learning your material. Okay, so I'll leave you there, and I hope that you find that helpful. And if you have any questions, post on the discussion forums. I'm excited for the class.